At its peak, the British Empire controlled 25% of the entire Earth's land surface and governed over 400 million people. That's one empire, one flag, 1/4 of the world. How did a small island nation, smaller than the state of Oregon, come to dominate the entire planet? The answer involves warships, spices, ruthless strategy, and a lot of audacity. The rise. It started with the sea. In the 1500s, Britain was racing against Spain and Portugal for control of global trade routes. They needed ships, they needed speed, and they built the most powerful navy the world had ever seen. By 1600, Queen Elizabeth I granted a royal charter to a private company, the East India Company, giving merchants the right to trade in Asia. What began as a business deal slowly became something far more dangerous: conquest. Britain planted flags across the globe: North America, the Caribbean, Australia, India, Africa. Each colony fed the empire's hunger for resources, labor, and wealth, tools of control. But grabbing land is one thing, keeping it is another. Britain had a playbook, and it was brutally effective. First, military force. The British Army and Royal Navy crushed resistance wherever it appeared. From the plains of India to the jungles of Africa, resistance was met with firepower. Second, trade monopolies. Britain didn't just trade, it controlled the rules of trade. Raw materials flowed out of colonies cheap. British manufactured goods flowed back in at full price. The colonies were locked in a one-way economic relationship. Third, divide and rule. This was perhaps their most cunning tool. Britain deliberately inflamed tensions between local ethnic, religious, and tribal groups, keeping populations too divided and distracted to unite against British rule. Fourth, cultural assimilation. British schools, British laws, British language. If you wanted power or status in a colony, you learned to think like the British. The peak. By the Victorian era, the mid to late 1800s, the empire had reached its absolute zenith. Queen Victoria ruled over India, Australia, Canada, large parts of Africa, and dozens of islands across every ocean. It was said, and it was literally true, that the sun never set on the British Empire. Britain was the world's banker, manufacturer, and policeman, all at once. London was the financial capital of the world. The British pound was the global currency. The Royal Navy patrolled every major ocean. No nation on Earth came close. The decline. But empires don't last forever. Two devastating world wars drained Britain's treasury, its manpower, and its global prestige. The colonies, which had sent millions of soldiers to fight for Britain, began demanding something in return: freedom. India gained independence in 1947. African nations followed through the 1950s and 60s. One by one, the red on the map faded away. The British Empire is gone, but its fingerprints are everywhere. English is the world's global language. Common law governs dozens of nations. The borders of the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia, drawn by British hands, still shape conflicts today. The empire that ruled the world left behind a world it permanently shaped. Whether that's a legacy to celebrate or reckon with, that's a question still being answered. But if you found this fascinating, hit like and subscribe. History this big deserves to be understood.